At a time when record-breaking water temperatures are fueling devastating hurricanes in the Gulf, ruining lives, creating billions in damage that no insurance will cover, BP is not only abandoning its plan to reduce oil output, but it is ramping up drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. And the worst part is that BP used to be a leader in environmental responsibility. As strange as that sounds, a beacon of hope for the industry. It had promised to reduce its fossil fuel pollution to zero by 2050. It was investing heavily in wind and solar, charging stations, biofuels. It was the only energy giant pledging to produce less oil over time, planning a 40% reduction in output by 2030. Huge. But Russia invaded Ukraine, Europe grew more focused on energy independence, oil prices climbed, and BP's investors didn't like that it was investing in costly long-term clean energy products when there was so much easy short-term profit to be made in oil. And so the CEO was pushed out in a strange way. The new CEO immediately backed off of its oil production cuts, initially promising only 25% reduction. And now this week, we find out that the plan to reduce oil output is completely gone. They paused investments in offshore wind, biofuels, slashed the number of clean energy projects by nearly 70%, while expanding oil output in the Gulf of Mexico. It's a disappointing loss of a climate leader, but what it does show is the power of public pressure. Many of these oil companies made big promises a few years ago about renewable investment that they may or may not have been able to keep, but now as public consensus on sustainability has weakened and investor pressure for short-term profits and payouts has increased, these companies have shifted back. So that's why I'm focused on creating more transparency, because we have the power to hold these companies accountable. So subscribe to my newsletter if you want to make an impact.